Hi everybody, it's your favorite AD Bobbie here with another edition of Director's Podium. This time though, I thought I'd try something a little bit different and talk specifically about Cardcaptor Sakura and the music behind it and sort of my experiences with it, all in anticipation of the premiere of Sakura Symphony, our instrumental tribute to the music of Cardcaptor Sakura, which will premiere right here on our YouTube channel, so be sure that you click and subscribe so you don't miss a single video as they're released weekly thereafter. Now, just a few notes before I get started. I'll only be discussing the original soundtrack by Takayuki Negishi. Obviously, everything in this video is from my own opinion, my own observations, and due to copyright restrictions, I'm not able to play any of the music unless it's stock music, my own compositions, or performances by our group. 4 original soundtracks of the background music have been released. I classify the music into 3 categories. As it's titled, daytime Sakura music is for when she is out of costume, in her regular schoolwear, living her daily life as a normal grade school girl. Predominantly pop-based, so there's a lot of reference music that sounds like 80s and 90s pop music, bossa nova, usually Latin flair. The flute or the piccolo tends to have the melody, I think because it has an airy, light quality, slightly piercing, so it does resemble a young girl's voice. If you have the soundtrack or want to look for it, you can check out track number 3 on OST 1 or number 11 on OST 2, Chisana Yose. In the show, Sakura sometimes has to deal with mature emotions like love or want or longing for something. In this case, oftentimes Negishi uses the oboe as the voice for Sakura. The first time you really hear the oboe take over is during her first meeting, our first meeting with Yukito. On the flip side, we have the quote-unquote night music or the Cardcaptor Sakura music. This is usually more minor. It has a bit more nuance to it. The strings play an important part in building up the tension, huge swells that come out of nowhere in the most dangerous of situations, such as when she is being chased by a cloud card or having to struggle. We get the horns, French horns, trumpets, trombones playing the melody, and they have a very strong, brassy, abrasive texture. It's very in your face. I almost like to think of the action music as like fighting music for fighting games. It's sort of rock and electronic instruments mixed in with some orchestral sounds. Track 22 from the original OST, Panic, is a really good example of this. The third type of music is the cloud reed music, which is highly present in season 3 and a little bit more in season 2. It's probably the most adult sounding of the 3. It uses the clarinet and the oboe as its melodic voice. Negishi has a composer tendency to give the piano or the harp what's called an ostinato, a sort of creeping repetitive rhythm that underlines and creates this flow underneath a slow moving melody. To me, it signals danger ahead, foreshadowing of what's to come, a little bit of mystery. He also loves to have a 2 against 3 pattern in the accompaniment to give a paranormal, unnatural feel, which is perfect for this magical, mythical being that is Cloud Reed. There's a great way that Negishi tries to convey Sakura's maturing character throughout the series. She has 2 Sakura themes that are used, which is either sealing or releasing a card. The second theme, Sakura theme number 2, which is actually the first theme we hear, which is, I don't know why it's named that way, it's a little weird. It's sort of the fun, up-tempo, disco-esque piece, very bright, has a single melody. It represents Sakura at her early stage. Youthful, naive, ingenue. The Sakura theme number 1, which is the second release theme that we hear, is more mature. It has a more orchestral sound. At this point, she has more cards in her pocket. She knows better how to use them, how to capture new ones. So we start off with a really dramatic, mighty sound. Then the strings have a growing melody that rises up. There's a bit of danger in a minor section. So there's a bit of development. By the end of the 3rd season, we have a brand new theme, which is her theme all in itself. It has a very victorious sound at the beginning, takes elements from the other 2 themes, but creates its own sound and creates its own place in the OST. So I think this is representative of her marking her place in the legacy of a card captor. And by the end, she becomes like platinum, a noble metal that resists corrosion, is very precious, and only second to diamond. So it's not perfect. It still has room to grow. This is the synthesis of the entire show. You face danger, you adapt things to your advantage, you make use of your strengths and your weaknesses to become something more, something better than you were before, but you still have room to grow and become even better after that. So thank you all very much for listening to me rant about this music. I love reading other people's opinions. Leave a comment below or on our social media and let me know. Be sure to watch Sakura Symphony, which begins on Leap Day, which is also Toya Nisan's birthday, Monday, February 29th. See you soon.